Hydx is providing automation solutions based on hydraulics. We do these for the OEM market, and our customers are active in both industrial, mobile, and the marine sector. What we manufacture here and design ends up in locations all over the world. To put it in a sort of funny way, we are actually very lazy, and we don't like to do things over and over again. So if we can put any of our work into any kind of good digital solution, software, then we will do that to be able to use our time in the most efficient way.
Well, during the average day, challenges do come up, and we take them head on. And there's one really interesting challenge that we had in a project that we have already just recently delivered. And this was the client had a very high demand for earthquake data, and they really needed us to prove that our structure will survive in a very seismically active environment. Well, the customer had sent us a file that contained data that was taken from the region with previous earthquakes in the past few years. So we had a very good idea of what sort of seismic activity that we should expect from this area. And then what we did was we took all that data and we put it into the dynamic simulation workbench in the SolidWorks environment, and we were able to directly simulate the time response of our structure during this seismic event, which is something that we would have never been able to do before we had this capability. It's not that challenging to simulate a simple structure, a beam, for example, but when you have an assembly that's made up of 30 to 40 components, plus you have separate weight that's sitting on different areas of this structure, then the actual calculation becomes something that's, I couldn't imagine trying to do that by hand. But with this thing, we were able to go directly from the SolidWorks environment, go into the simulation environment, bring in that data and run the simulation, and within a few minutes we had results that we could use for our own purposes, and we had results that we can pass over to the customer and demonstrate for them that this structure is going to be effective at standing up to this seismic event. We invested in this software mainly because of the ability for us to communicate our calculations and to communicate our findings and our design to our customers. And the customers, this customer in particular, was very interested in having the actual results. It wasn't simply a case of that they put it in the scope and we said yes, we can fulfill this, we can do this, it's not going to be a problem. This time they wanted to see full data set. They wanted to see all the reaction of the system throughout the entire 25-second data sample that they gave us, and we were easily able to do this. It's very easy for us to pull screenshots or renders, drawings from our 3D CAD sources. I mean, a really good example of how easily we could do this is if a customer calls and said we would like to see how this unit would look in our plant. So what I could do is, even though the system that they're asking for doesn't exist yet, I haven't even started working on it, I can easily go back and pull out a model that we used 3 years ago, for example, change a few of the components, change some of the dimensions very quickly, make a drawing with the dimensions, and even go further, and within an hour or two, possibly much less time than that, depending on how complicated it is, I can have a photorealistic picture ready to go of the unit that they've been asking for. Our production department, they have access to our 3D models. Everyone in the production hall has a computer by their workstation, and they open up as they go along with the production. They have the model, the 3D model, directly from us. that they can use to see where certain components need to be, how we planned on setting up the entire layout, which position certain components need to be relative to one another. During the purchase phase, it's also very convenient to have access to a 3D design program, because we can get information just as easily as we can give information. So a fantastic aspect of that is that if we're looking for a new any component that we want to use, a lot of times you can get a drawing and get a good sense of the dimensions and the proportions and how to have this product incorporated into your design. But a much quicker way is to send an email to your supplier, and they send you over a step file, and within a few minutes you've got that 3D model sitting inside your 3D model. Working with the PLM group has been very positive for us. The main reason for that is the communication. We have a very informal communication when it comes time to solve problems that we are having with not necessarily with the software, but mostly with just questions of how to do certain things. And whenever we do get in touch with the support group, we get a very detailed answer very quickly. So that just provides us with a lot less downtime than needs to be.